We have to be very ambitious in reducing carbon emissions. The success of the energy transition will heavily depend on how we design our energy and climate policies. We economists, I believe, we have a very important role to play in informing policy making in ways that achieve a least cost energy transition, both for consumers as well as for producers, because that will imply that the distributional impacts of the energy transition are not negative, but rather positive for society as a whole, and that the best technologies are chosen. With the support of the European Research Council, my research agenda tries to understand what are the best policies to achieve the energy transition at least cost. And today here at the European University Institute, I presented part of our ongoing research project. In particular, we are interested in understanding how different pricing schemes for renewables will impact both investment in renewables as well as the performance of the energy markets once renewable investments are in place. We have found that if we do not rethink, if we do not modify the current market arrangements in electricity markets, the increase in renewables will not eliminate market power. Indeed, dominant renewable producers will be able to charge positive markups above marginal cost. This will translate also in high price volatility, which will make it further more costly investments in renewables without guaranteeing at all that investors will have the right investment incentives to invest in renewables, essentially because the current market arrangements imply that electricity prices are based, they are a function of marginal cost. And when it comes to renewables, marginal costs are certainly below the average investment cost that take into account the fixed cost of the investments. We have arrived at this conclusion through a theoretical analysis, but also through an empirical analysis using data from the Spanish electricity market. We managed to understand how changing the pricing format for renewables, whether we expose renewable producers to market prices or whether we expose them to prices that have been set ex ante, affects market performance. We believe this is a very valuable exercise that again points at the conclusion that exposing renewable producers to market prices reinforces their market power, therefore giving rise to inefficient outcomes. Ongoing and future research will also take into account the impact of storage, and we also take into account how market structure and the ownership structure of storage facilities will impact the investment in storage, which is an essential facility for the energy transition and for the deployment of renewable energies, and how that ownership structure will also affect, sometimes distort, the efficient use of storage facilities. I think this is a fascinating research agenda that has very important implications for how we manage the energy transition and whether we manage to make it work properly.